wanted to hear a readback of testimony relating to Combs' former girlfriend, actress-singer Jennifer Lopez, who was in the Navigator when it was stopped by police. An officer testified that everyone in the SUV was ordered to put their hands on the vehicle, but Lopez walked away, saying she was going home. As she was being...
You look in the ocean, you see two people floating. You can only pull up one because that's how much room you have on your raft. You look in the ocean, you see Ben Affleck, and you see Diddy. That's it! J to the L, give me 5.
Hey, speaking of
this
love,
is love.
I saw a guy on the internet the other day who said he used to be your security guard, who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Yo, this show has gotten crazier since the last time I No,
it's all about love, though. That's not true?
You really heard that? Nah.
What? Yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy, I thought we was friends. Where did this go?
Jennifer Lopez is doing everything in her power to avoid Diddy, but that's pretty difficult to do when there are a ton of photos of them together all over the internet. Keep in mind, these two dated through 1999 to 2001, and there's a lot of photos from Diddy's 2000 4th of July party floating around. And as you guys can see, Jennifer Lopez is feeling some.
Jennifer Lopez has always managed to keep a clean image, but recent revelations may prove otherwise. What if I told you her ties to a dark Hollywood underbelly might have been what finally broke her relationship with Ben Affleck? For years, Jennifer has presented herself as an untainted superstar, a triple threat known for her acting, singing, and dancing. But her past connections with some of Hollywood's most controversial figures are beginning to resurface. This time, it seems the spotlight has landed on her alleged involvement in some of the activities of her former boyfriend, Sean Diddy Combs. Now, insiders claim that Ben Affleck, who initially stood by her side, knew about these connections all along. So what exactly did Ben learn, and did it push him to cut ties for good? Let's find out.
To me, that you need to have that alone time, which she's never had.
You're 100% right. She does. She did. They both need it. 100%. She's a love and sex addict. Look at the men she's with. She can't be alone. She needs a man in her life. She has never spent any real time developing herself, and her career's in the
1990s, Jennifer and Diddy were one of Hollywood's most talked about couples. At that time, Diddy was at the top of his game as a music mogul, and Jennifer, fresh off her Selena success, was solidifying herself as a serious actress. Their romance, however, was marred by controversy. The 1999 club shooting in Times Square changed everything. Diddy, Jennifer, and his young protege, Shine, were at Club New York when a scuffle erupted. What followed was a gunfight that left 3 people injured. Diddy, along with Jennifer, hightailed it out of the scene in a dramatic high-speed chase that ended with the two getting pulled over by the NYPD. While Diddy faced some issues, Jennifer was eventually let off without charges. But this incident marked the beginning of her attempts to distance herself from the man whose career and lifestyle were getting into chaos. Since then, Jennifer has downplayed her connection to Diddy's criminal activities, insisting she was just an innocent person caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. She broke up with Diddy soon after, claiming she needed to focus on her career. However, insiders say she remained closely connected to Diddy's world long after their split.
I know what they say about me, about hopeless romantics, that we're weak. And I'm not weak. It takes strength to keep believing in something after you keep falling flat on your face.
Now that the FBI has been keeping tabs on Diddy's notorious parties, new information suggests that Jennifer may have been present at some of these controversial gatherings. This has led many people to wonder if she got swept up in activities that were both legally and morally questionable. Even though Jennifer has tried to stay clear of Diddy's scandals, whispers of hidden secrets and potential blackmail have followed her for years. The recent claims point to video footage of her that could destroy her career and reputation. If Ben knew about these connections, it could explain why he decided to distance himself before things got out of control. Well, Jennifer Lopez's connection to Diddy goes far deeper than many people realize. While people believe their romance ended decades ago, people close to the situation suggest that Jennifer may have stayed intertwined with Diddy's dangerous world long after their official split. Even after she started dating other high-profile men, Jennifer was attending exclusive behind-closed-doors parties hosted by Diddy. And these weren't your typical Hollywood parties. These were Diddy's parties that allegedly involved all sorts of illegal activities, ranging from substance use to inappropriate interactions with girls. New sources suggest that Jennifer participated in these parties to stay on good terms with Diddy, possibly to ensure he didn't release any compromising information about her. Insiders also hint that there might have been footage or other evidence involving Jennifer in situations that could damage her career and public image. If these allegations are true, it would explain why she would keep attending these gatherings, despite the risk. Now, where does Ben Affleck fit into all this? It seems like Ben might have known more about Jennifer's past with Diddy than he ever let on. Sources close to the couple have suggested that Ben was fully aware of Jennifer's ties to Diddy and the potential skeletons in her closet. Allegedly, he was unaware of the talks about Jennifer's involvement in some of these controversial parties, but chose to stay silent to protect her. However, once news broke about the FBI looking into Diddy's activities, Ben became uneasy. The talks about video footage and detailed testimonies implicating Jennifer began to circulate, and Ben was said to have been briefed on the legal implications. He began to realize just how damaging it could be for his career and reputation if he continued to be linked to Jennifer. The situation escalated when prosecutors got wind of Jennifer's potential involvement. As part of a broader investigation into Diddy, her name came up more frequently, causing concern among Jennifer's legal team. According to sources, Jennifer's attorneys advised her to distance herself from anyone who could drag her further into this mess. But the tipping point came when law enforcement hinted that subpoenas and warrants were on the way, targeting associates of Diddy's who might have knowledge of these illegal gatherings. Jennifer, sensing the heat, allegedly started making efforts to cut ties and secure herself legally, but the damage had already been done.
Blind item reads, this producer, wannabe rapper Sean Diddy Combs, P. Diddy, has been trying to reach out to the A-list everything in her mind, J-Lo, to make sure that she stays quiet and keeps dodging investigators who want to speak to her. Now, the related headline reads that Jennifer Lopez could be subpoenaed as a witness in a Diddy lawsuit.
Things took a shocking turn when new documents and testimonies surfaced, pointing directly at Jennifer's presence at Diddy's infamous parties. One blind item circulating among Hollywood insiders claims that there are multiple recordings from these parties that could implicate Jennifer in activities that are not only morally questionable but also very controversial. The item goes further to suggest that some of the individuals Jennifer interacted with at these events weren't of legal age. This is where it gets even messier, because if these videos do exist and they fall into the wrong hands, it could spell the end of Jennifer's career. But the worst part is that this information has already made its way to Ben Affleck, and that's when he decided he couldn't stand by her any longer. Ben tried to give Jennifer the benefit of the doubt at first, choosing to believe that these were just rumors meant to tear them apart. But as more insiders started talking, and as legal threats against Diddy and Jennifer became more real, Ben's support began to waver. Sources close to the couple say that Ben couldn't ignore the gravity of what was being uncovered. He knew that if any of this went public, it would not only drag Jennifer down, but could also tarnish his own reputation. He couldn't afford to risk his hard-earned comeback by staying involved.
And there's the personal story of Ben and I that has never been told. I don't think he's very comfortable with me doing all of this. But he loves me, he knows I'm an artist, and he's gonna support me in every way he can, because he knows this. He can't stop me from making the music I made and writing the words that I wrote. He can't, that's going to happen, and he doesn't want to stop me. He wants to do that, but that doesn't mean he's, kind of comfortable being the muse.
And then there's the personal story of Ben and I that has never been told. I don't think he's very comfortable with me doing all of it, but he loves me. He knows I'm an artist, and he's going to support me in every way he can, because he knows this is... this. You can't stop me from making the music I made and writing the words that I wrote. He can't. You know that's going to happen, and he doesn't want to stop me. He wants to do that, but that doesn't mean he's not feeling a certain way. It's no surprise that Jennifer Lopez is hustling to keep her reputation intact. She's always been smart about her business and PR, but if these new accusations are legit, she's got a serious mess to deal with. Some insiders are even calling it her exit strategy, which seems to involve staying away from Diddy, keeping a low profile, and maybe even cutting ties that could get her in trouble. People have noticed that Jennifer's team is making changes to how she is seen in public. She's trying to spin her story as someone who got caught up in the drama with powerful men like Diddy, rather than being in on it. It's a tricky situation. She doesn't want to look guilty, but she also doesn't want to come off as a total victim. Meanwhile, her public comments have been pretty vague. Instead of addressing the allegations directly, she's focusing on her kids, her career, and staying positive despite the unfortunate rumours. On the flip side, Ben Affleck is doing his own thing to distance himself from this mess. Sources say he's been putting out statements through his reps, emphasizing that his divorce from Jennifer has nothing to do with the recent allegations, and that he's just focusing on getting his life back on track. Ben's also been getting back into his work since were used. Even if Jennifer didn't do anything wrong, just being associated with Diddy's activities could bring a lot of trouble her way. While social media is buzzing, some people have always suspected there was more to her history with Diddy. One commenter said, "J-Lo slept her way to the top." It's all about connections. She's not the best dancer or singer. Men leave her when they see her true colours. Diddy liked her because she played along with his dirty games. Another added, "Ben Affleck did the right thing to leave her after the sheriff showed him the tapes." A third person wrote, "I always liked her, but there were times I saw her being almighty. She'll get what she deserves. I feel sorry for her kids, but at least their dad is there for them. Ben was smart getting away from her."